Hello everyone and welcome to Shelf Space. I'm your host Roz13 and today's Transformers review is the Bumblebee cassette pack from Transformers Bumblebee. This is the sequel that I teased during the Soundwave review. And so what we got here is a simple Bumblebee Transformer and 3 Decepticon cassettes. And I'm really excited to take a look at these because some of these I haven't ever touched. So let's go ahead, look at the package, and then we'll get everything out. So to start off, nice window package here. We got the 3 cassettes, which I believe is Buzzsaw, Howlback, and Rumble? Let's see, Buzzsaw, Howlback, sorry, Frenzy. They're going with Frenzy is blue on this version. I tend to think cartoon-wise, so I tend to think of Rumble being the blue one. But that's a debate that I'm not going to get into. This has an only at Target sticker, oddly enough. Transformers logo, the Transformers Bumblebee logo. Bumblebee rocking out on a yield sign. We got a one-step changer Bumblebee there. And this is the same sort of packaging style that the Soundwave have, where everything's designed to look like it's a sort of boombox stereo thing, with a little bit of 80s styling and colors on it. This side we got that Bumblebee rocking out again with the speaker grill. On the back here we have product shots of the different characters in here. So here's Bumblebee, Howlback, Frenzy, and Buzzsaw. And part of the Bumblebee Greatest Hits line. And they refer to these as triple changers because, yeah, I guess they kinda are. I mean, yeah, they got their alternate modes. These things are a little bit odd, but we'll get in with that. Here is the other side with the speaker grill. On the top we got the sort of record, play, rewind, fast forward, stop, pause things, little graphic equalizer, Autobot symbol this time, little knobs and vents. This side, nothing interesting. And yeah, that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and take a look at these out of the package. And here's everybody straight out of the package. So we got our one-step changer Bumblebee. I believe this is Howlback, Buzzsaw, and Frenzy. I have to remember, Frenzy. Frenzy is blue in this case. And they make a pretty nice set. I mean, the blue isn't exactly going with the yellow or anything, but I think the cassettes together look pretty nice. And so you can just sort of think of this guy as a bonus figure or something. Let's go ahead, take a look at him first, and then we'll look at these guys. So here's Bumblebee himself. He's a very simple figure. And I've actually handled a version of this sort of transformation skeleton in the form of my son's Drift, if I remember correctly, from, that would have been Age of Extinction, if I remember correctly. So articulation is very minimal. There's nothing in the head. The shoulders move around and up. There is no elbow jointing and nothing in the legs. And that's because this has it's a very neat transformation system, but it basically utilizes the entire body and bricks the articulation. And the way that works is this way. Ta-da! He's got what some people refer to as like the switchblade method of transformation, because you can just sort of flip it around like a switchblade. So there's some stuff that's spring-loaded, and I think there's even a little bit of magnets in there, something to help with stuff. But yeah. So at the very least, it's neat in that respect, because transformation, one fluid movement, and you're done. Can wheel around quite nicely. There is not much in the way of paint on this guy. No stripes. You got the Autobot symbol, got the windshield, a little bit here, and that's it. Most of his paint seems to go to his robot mode, and even that isn't too spectacular. But really, I didn't get the set for the Bumblebee. In fact, this is probably just going to go to my son because I bet he will enjoy it a lot more than I do. But he is a neat figure in his own right. You just have to remember what he is. Don't expect, a deluxe class style transformation or articulation there. Comparison wise, here he is next to a Siege Deluxe class transformer, and here he is next to a 1/144 scale Gundam. So yeah, he's a little on the short side, but he does have a little bit of mass to him. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the cassettes. And we're going to start off with Halbach. So here is Halbach in his cassette / data pad mode. He's got a few stickers on here, factory applied, that they create sort of an illusion of a cassette there, but try to kind of convey the idea that maybe this is also a screen. It's also kind of hard to see what it looks like because it is reflecting the light, something fierce. You can sort of see a little bit of his robot mode and vehicle mode stuff there. And yeah, this guy is a blue repaint of Ravage. I believe the original version of Halbach was a toy from one of the Japanese lines. I'm not 100% certain which one, where he was also a repaint of Ravage. Now, I have actually messed with a version of this before, and that is Stripes, who was a Tiger Autobot cassette. So you can see sort of the same thing going on here, though this one doesn't really try to pretend to be a cassette at all. He's purely a data pad with all of his little indicators and stuff like that. Let's see, and one other comparison. Here is the Siege version of Ravage. So you can tell a lot smaller. But let's go ahead and get this guy transformed. So it's been a little while since I've done this, so bear with me. Let's see, we're gonna flip these panels out like so. In fact, they are supposed to be able to go, there we go, all the way around. Though you do have to maneuver things because you got these little pegs here that are going to bump into the walls. Then we got little feetsies that need to be up. Then we're going to fold these parts in. And now we just start getting things into position. Let's see. Trying to figure out what it's telling me to do with it. There we go. Okay. So these need to rotate around more while you bend this part up and bring out the head. And I don't think he has a tail or anything like that. So that is that. So, not too bad. There's not a whole lot to him. Let's try to see if I can get a little bit more light on him so you can see him. His dark colors are making it a little bit harder. So, he's still mostly blue with some black accents. And he makes an interesting little panther puma thing. You got articulation in the legs with little hinges in the back, at the knee, and on the foot. No ball joint or anything like that. Up here you have a little bit of ball jointing, though it doesn't get you a whole lot. And then rotation and hinges here. Head can go up and down so he can nod. The wings you can move around if you want, but for the most part they're designed to be swept back. Makes me think a little bit more of, I think Steeljaw had little wings going back, but whatevs. So yeah, not too bad. It's neat to have a Decepticon cassette. So here's Halbach with Stripes. As you can see, Stripes has a different style looking head. Almost looks more like a dragon, really. So it's interesting to see how these guys wear their colors differently. In fact, this guy has all this gold stuff while he still has more of the same blue. So that's kind of an interesting detail there. Also, I just realized he does have a tail. I forgot about that. And here's Halbach with Siege Ravage. A little bit of a difference there. Yeah, this guy is positively tiny. But this is a cassette guy for a leader class. This is a cassette guy for a Voyager class. So what are you going to expect? Let's go ahead and get him into the vehicle mode that he has. Because this guy was kind of designed with Titan Masters in mind. So we're going to fold the head back in. Bring these wings up. We're going to somehow, there we go, bring out this. And fold this in. Bring these down. Now we're going to bring his legs around. And it looks like we lock the feet in here and then just sort of have them like this as if they're little boosters or stabilizers or something. And then looks like this is designed to be down a little bit so that way it has a bit of a landing gear. And we're going to snap the wings into position there. And there you go, his little plane form. And yeah, I think if you have a Titan Master, which, let's go ahead and get Doombox out. You can just maybe put him in here and have him sort of sit, I guess. It looks like you're supposed to be able to like push his feet in, but I'm having some issues and the instruction booklet doesn't make it 100% clear. Of course, if I remember correctly, the fun thing was this guy and Laserbeak were actually, the original molds were actually released before Titans Masters. So, yeah. Anyway, an interesting little jet mode. Don't know how much I'm going to use it. It's swooshable. I think I would like the wings to be a little bit more swept back. I think that looks a little bit cooler. And here is Halbach's vehicle mode with Stripes vehicle mode. So again, you can see how they wear their colors differently and how he has an extra set of colors with that gold while this guy is all blue. It's kind of weird looking. I'm guessing the gold is all on its own little sprue or something like that, and they just decided to use the same colors all the way through, which is a bit weird. But nothing else really different between these two. So yeah, moving on. Next up is Frenzy. So here is Frenzy. Looking pretty cool in sort of dark blue and light blue. Though this metallic sticker is making it really hard to film. You can see he's got a version of his cassette here with a Decepticon symbol, though things look a little bit off. And he's supposed to be like a data pad or an MP3 player or something. In fact, you have a little part here that you can sort of pretend is like a stylus or something. In fact, he even has like a spot where you can sort of put that in, like you're storing it. That goes in the side here. It is cool to see that he has everything all kind of self-contained. I do have a version of this guy as well. I have Rewind. Eagle Eye viewers will probably remember seeing him on my shelf with the Lost Light Crew set that I've been slowly putting together. So you can see this one is blue, this one is sort of that kind of bronzy black and silver. But with the shoulders here, you can tell that this guy was definitely supposed to be Rewind and whatever his repaint partner was called. Because I don't think his partner was called Fast Forward. That'd be funny though. But same basic ideas. It looks like it even uses the same basic art for the cassette, but he has stuff going over the top and bottom to sort of make it look more like a data pad. You got the little Wi-Fi signal and battery and stuff like that. But still kind of neat to have. So let's go ahead and get him transformed. So first thing we're going to do is get this thing out, which is a little easier said than done because when you get it in there, it really gets in there. Let me see, I think I have something I can use to help pull it out. There we go. So we'll set that aside for right now. And I'm going to flip this around. And this part is always kind of scary because it feels like it puts a lot of strain on the plastic. But these parts hinge up and around. Then we're going to flip these up. We're going to start folding his legs out. You can even get his feet into position. And then we just rotate around. Rotate that. So now we have his elbow joint all set. Then bring the head up, and he's got blue optics. This is the first time I've transformed him, so that's a surprise to me. That's actually very weird. He should have red, unless the original toy had blue, because Hasbro does tend to err on the side of toy accuracy versus show accuracy. Oh well, I can fix that if I really, really wanted to. But here he is, and he looks pretty cool. I dig it. So the head is on a joint here, and then you can swivel it around if need to. You got rotation here at the shoulder, plus some jointing here. Just set that aside for right now. You got your elbow kind of far up there, but it works, as well as some rotation here, so you can get a little bit of posing there. An odd thing is that this side is very filled in, this side is not. I'm not 100% certain why that is. It's probably because this one has the space for the little stylus cannon thing. This one does not. And this was when they were really trying to figure out the best ways to save on plastic. Okay, so the hips are ball sockets. You can kick up pretty good. Single jointed ball socket knee, but get some pretty decent bend there thanks to transformation. And that also means you get rotation there at the knee. And he can do pretty good splits also thanks to transformation. And his toe can move around. So yeah, you can get some pretty decent posability out of such a little guy. Now here he is next to Rewind. So you can see they share pretty much all the same sculpted details except for the heads are different. And one of the things they did that I thought was really cool is that this part for the chest is completely smooth and flat. So if they want to make it Autobot cassette guys, they just paint on that detail, and if they want to make it Decepticon tape, guys, they paint on that detail. It's only the shoulders where it becomes obvious what they've done, but it's a neat little trick, I think, that they've managed to pull off here. And I think these two are pretty cool, and it's kind of neat to finally have a Decepticon version to go up against this one. Even though this guy wasn't really known for fighting, he was an archivist. He liked to record things. That's why his tank mode, which we'll be getting into, was kind of on the silly side. So, speaking of tank mode, let's go ahead and get to that. So, let's see. Oh, something else I should show. You can store that on there if you want him to have an arm cannon. But for now, let's go ahead and start getting him transformed. We're going to flip open the chest like that, close it up, and we're going to flip the toes down. And really, for the most part, we're kind of getting this back into the cassette mode. So I'm going to do that. Flip the legs back around. Make sure everything pegs into place. We're going to rotate this down like that. But actually, no, what we're going to do is we're going to rotate these around, and then we're going to bring this down. It'll sort of snap into place. Maybe. There we go. And then to add the turret, you just sort of put it right here. You got the little bumps there that correspond to little holes there. And that gives us our articulated, at least up and down, turret. It's got little wheels, so you can roll them around a little bit, but you do run the risk of scraping up all of this paint because the wheels aren't that big. But it is a cute little tank mode, and it seems very appropriate for Rumble or Frenzy. And here he is next to Rewind. I think Rewind actually makes a better looking tank because I like these sort of darker colors with the silver as a tank versus the blue, but it looks pretty cool. And it's nice to have these together like that. And if you want some Titan Master interaction, the main way that's going to work is you've got pegs here. He doesn't really have a place to sit, though. I suppose you can fake it by putting him back here and holding him or something. Alright, so on to the last one. And finally, Buzzsaw. Alright, so Buzzsaw here is the only one of these molds that I don't have any experience with. I never got the Laserbeak version, so this is all new and untested for me, so this should be interesting. So we can see here, he's still another data pad, but he's got the tape deck thing going on there. And he feels a little bit more simple than the others. But alright, let's go ahead and get to transformation. This is new to me, so bear with me. I'm going to flip the head out, I believe. There we go. Already looking kind of cool. Then these parts fold out. And you've got little wing pieces that extend out as well. Very nice. And we got little feetsies that can fold down. And then we are flipping this up, flipping these up. And that's pretty much it. A little anticlimactic, but he makes a pretty decent bird mode. I can't complain. I dig it. So more black and gold going on here. Oh, his legs kind of splayed out there. But yeah, this is cool. For quick comparison, here he is next to Siege Laserbeak. So you can get sort of an idea of the sort of two different design languages here. Plus, Laserbeak is obviously a whole lot smaller than this dude. I guess now let's go ahead and check out his vehicle mode, whatever that is supposed to be. So I'm gonna effectively start transforming him back. Then we got these things here are going to rotate, and then he's got a panel here that should flip around. There we go, revealing wheels. And then this is going to go like this, I guess, and then let's see, this does not feel quite right. That's because it's not. These need to these parts here need to flip down, and I am not getting any give on them. 1 second, folks. Figured it out, and that's it. This is... it rolls pretty decently, I'll give it that. I got nothing. This is weird looking. It's just a little car thing. It doesn't do much. I feel like it must have some greater interaction that I am missing. I'm not even certain how you would interact a Titan Master with this, because I'm not seeing a place for them to sit. You got a single peg right there that can maybe be used for a foot, but yeah. So vehicle mode, not exactly the highlight of this, but that's okay. The bird mode was spectacular. In fact, we're going to go ahead and get him back into that form, get everybody together, and we'll get my final thoughts. So overall, it's not a bad little set. I think the weakest figures in it are the one step changer, no surprise there, and Howlback. And that's just because I think Howlback's beast mode suffers a little bit for how they wanted to do the transformation. But even then, it's not god-awful or anything. But yeah, I think I could recommend this. Plus, it gives you more cassette guys for your sound wave. So that's always a plus, right? So yeah, that has been a review. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. Check the description below for links to my storefront where you can get official shelf space t-shirts and more. And yeah, thank you again, and I'll see you the next time you invade my shelf space.